We measure modern progress by what we can eliminate: tailpipe noise, engine vibration, fossil fuels. The global push for net zero has prioritized the sleek, silent efficiency of electric vehicles, creating a ledger of clean energy assets that looks promising on paper. But every ledger has liabilities. This is the physical reality behind that silent future. It is the raw, manual extraction of minerals in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And of all the materials pulled from this ground, one mineral serves as the absolute, non-negotiable anchor for the clean energy grid: cobalt. This chart shows the internal geometry of a battery cell. Cobalt stabilizes the lithium-ion cathodes during intense energy transfers. Without it, batteries degrade rapidly or experience thermal runaway, the engineering term for a battery catching fire. Cobalt extends the battery's life and ensures its safety. The reliability and performance of our clean tech are currently supported by the physical danger and exploitation found at the start of its supply chain. Geography dictates supply, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo holds a massive lead. Over 70% of the world's cobalt comes from within its borders. When we visualize that global supply volume, the breakdown reveals the scale of the human risk. If we segment out the DRC's total output, roughly 20% of it is generated by artisanal small-scale mining, or ASM, the term for unregulated manual labor. ASM work means digging by hand. There is no industrial ventilation. Laborers breathe in dust thick with toxic heavy metals for hours at a time, day after day. The medical consequence of this continuous exposure is a severe, often fatal respiratory illness known as hard metal lung disease. The human deficit on this global ledger is significant. Right now, an estimated 40,000 children are involved in cobalt mining, some sorting and carrying ore for less than $2 a day. And because these ad hoc tunnels lack proper industrial shoring, catastrophic collapses are a constant, lethal threat to anyone working underground. These statistics aren't outliers or accidents. They represent the current physical price of the minerals required to power the global energy transition. This map illustrates the global supply chain. You can see the consumption zones, the tech hubs in the US and Europe, fed by extraction routes originating in the DRC. But zoom in on the source, and you see how the supply chain becomes opaque. Local aggregators purchase hand-dug ASM ore and mix it directly with industrial ore. The streams commingle. Once that mixed ore reaches smelting facilities in Asia, the physical trace of its origin melts away in the furnace. It becomes a uniform commodity. Many tech companies rely on blockchain tracking or third-party sustainability audits to assure consumers that their specific supply lines are ethically sourced. The DRC government is working to formally regulate these sites through the Entreprise Générale du Cobalt, attempting to mandate basic safety gear and clear boundaries for artisanal miners. Corporate audits often fail because the commingling happens at the very first step of the chain. While traceability remains an elusive goal, the system continues to move vast amounts of unverified cobalt from the dirt to the consumer. That supply is about to be tested. Driven by the EV market, global demand for cobalt is projected to skyrocket by 60% by 2026, which forces a logical accounting question. What happens to this supply chain as the world pushes for greater volumes of a mineral currently tied to these human risks? The industry is already looking for exits. Automakers are pouring billions into technological pivots, racing to develop cobalt-free LFP, or lithium iron phosphate, batteries to bypass the DRC's risks entirely. Secondary industries are scaling up battery recycling programs, attempting to recover and reuse existing cobalt from end-of-life technology, rather than relying on fresh extraction. But these technological solutions only address future supply. They cannot erase the human cost already logged into the ground of the DRC. The clean energy transition is currently operating on an insolvent foundation. We haven't removed the environmental and human toll of our energy needs. We have simply moved the damage to a part of the world that is easier to ignore.